Garcia makes his return on this past weekend. What do you guys all think of the performance? To tell you the truth, I was so on the Ryan Garcia performance, and I mean it's to be expected after 15 months out of the ring. You can't expect a perfect performance, but I also don't just blame him. I blame also Emmanuel Tago. Emmanuel Tago is his opponent for Saturday night, and honestly, I had heard some rather good things about Tago through the years from some people within the business, some people that I know. I had never seen him personally fight, but his record seemed, legitimately all right for this kind of fight. But I don't think Tago ever came to win. I don't think he ever threw a meaningful punch in the whole fight, at least nothing with mean intentions, or never tried to even win a round, in my opinion. I thought he was just trying to survive the whole time, and those are the kind of guys that are really difficult to look good against, especially after a long layoff like Garcia has had. You got to try to, if you've got a guy who's never trying to win the fight and is fully in survival mode, you probably got to be a little bit more sharp. You have to be a little bit more with it in terms of having been in the ring, and in order to look good for me, in my opinion, against a guy like that. The win-loss was never in doubt. It was never going to be in doubt with a guy with his mindset. It's never going to be in doubt with a guy with his mindset. But at the same time, this is what happens. You're out of the ring for a long time. You wind up getting these kind of opponents. Sometimes you end up getting these kind of mismatches, even in big fights. And, that's kind of what ends up giving boxing a bad name. But in this kind of situation, you almost expected a guy who might be a little bit subpar, but you would hope at least that he would come and try to win the fight. A 32-1 record, his whole career on the line, all his career's work on the line. Now he got a big fight against Ryan Garcia. I expect a guy like that to at least come and try to go out on his shield if he shows up in the Garcia fight. But nah, he didn't. Garcia had scored a nice knockdown, I think, in the second or third round. But for the most part, I didn't like that he wasn't cutting off the ring. I didn't like that there wasn't enough jabs to close the gap. He kind of fought at one speed the whole time. And again, I understand. It's difficult when you got a guy not trying to win the fight. He's not giving you much. You got to create everything yourself. But there were still things that Garcia could have done better. For sure, he's got to learn to cut off the ring. Listen, if you're going to be pressuring guys like this, the fight was fought in a clockwise manner almost the entire time. And Garcia never caught on to the fact that possibly, you might make Tago engage a little bit more if you cut him off, and also if you make him start going the other way. By forcing him to go the other way, you need to start cutting off the ring if you're going to do that. If you're able to cut off the ring, you're going to force Tago to go the other way. I'm not so sure Tago would have been very comfortable at all going the other way, and it might have helped Garcia either secure a knockout or at least secure a fight where there was more engaging in the fight. End of the day, Garcia wins an easy decision, cruises to it. I want to see him with better opposition. I hope to see him be a little bit sharper next time as far as, his ring rust. Now with that is out of the way, I want him to see him back in the ring quickly. And, a guy with this kind of talent, obviously, he can step up a little bit more. But what are we gonna do? If he's gonna start taking long layoffs again, then we're all supposed to expect that he's supposed to take these kind of opponents on and off all the time. We want to see Ryan Garcia be busy, and we want to see Ryan Garcia step up his level of opposition. I thought Luke Campbell was his best opponent. I don't think Tago was anywhere near Luke Campbell's level. This was a step back. Again, after the long layoff, it's understandable, but at the same time, I don't want to see Ryan Garcia with these kind of opponents. I at least want to see Garcia against guys who are going to show up to win the fight. That's not his fault. Still, there were things he could have done a little bit better. For one thing, again, I will repeat it, he needs to learn to cut off the ring. If he's going to fight, if he's going to fight guys like this that are going to start being a little bit timid with him, especially with his power, I'm sure some guys may start the fight looking to win the fight, but may turn into timid opponents once they feel Garcia's power. I think Tago was timid the whole time, to be honest. And then once he felt the power and got knocked down, he became timid even more. He threw a couple of shots once in a while that might have meant half of something, but never really stepped into anything consistently and troubled Garcia. But you might see this again in the future. Maybe not right off the jump, but you might see this again where Garcia is dominating a fight, hurts a guy, and then now the guy becomes very timid. So Garcia's going to have to learn to step on the gas the right way, and that means cutting off the ring and doing the little subtleties that, force a guy to engage when he doesn't want to, force the guy to fight when he doesn't want to, and also do things like fight and going in the opposite direction that he chooses to fight. Garcia allowed Tago to go in a clockwise direction the whole time, and that really what Tago was looking to do. He always found the out going to his own left, and it allowed him to survive the distance. Medium rating for Garcia in his return. Understandable, but I like to see him work on those things. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. This is Paulie Malignaggi for Paulie TV.